that's why we're here today, to tell people in Canada, tell the government, tell everybody that we still recognize that security certificates are unjust, unfair, and against human rights, and we're going to keep fighting until they're gone. And this is the weekend right before the start of closing arguments. Sophie Harkat wanted to be here today, but she was unfortunately unable because she's been called away to a family funeral. She did give me a statement to read on her behalf, and I'm going to do that now. During the public hearing the past few weeks, Sophie writes, some pretty shocking statements have been made, such as, Mo cannot be a sleeper agent because our experts don't believe in the concept of sleeper agents, and our experts show that Mo doesn't fit the profile. According to a government expert, Mo is the only sleeper agent on the planet who voluntarily declared his fake passport when entering the country. He's also the longest comatose sleeper agent ever. According to CSIS, Mo was dealing with the kingpin of financing of the Bin Laden network. It turns out the individual in question has no links to the network whatsoever, got released without charge, and returned to his family safe and sound. According to CSIS, Mo worked at Human Concern International, and according to our expert, there is no record of his ever having worked there. According to an Algerian expert, Mo's life in Algeria and his reasons for leaving are legitimate and documented. According to CSIS, Mo was untruthful about his past, but according to the record, CSIS failed to tell the judge that a main informant failed a lie detector test and had the chance to inform the court on more than one occasion. And also, according to the record, all original transcripts, interviews, intercepts, and notes have been destroyed by CSIS. These are some of the many examples why the security certificate against Mo should be quashed.
Not so long ago, I think the term arbitrary detention was something that Canadians didn't think much about and probably didn't hear very much about in our media. What strikes me is that it is true that Canada is now responsible for arbitrary detention.
It's more than 7 years that this thing is out there over the heads of many people. And we're here again to demand that the security certificate against Mohamed Harkat be immediately quashed.
According to many, Mo is a good guy who simply got screwed by the system and whose life has been ruined by these ridiculous allegations for national security reasons.
The security certificate process is profoundly flawed and incompatible with a free and democratic society.
Le certificat de sécurité est une attaque directe à la liberté des Canadiens et Canadiennes. Pour ma part, le certificat de sécurité est une forme de terrorisme.
When we talk about security certificates, what they really are is rendition to torture certificates.
According to me, Sophie writes, our family, his friends and supporters, Mo is a kind, hardworking, funny, and gentle person who came to this country dreaming of a better life.
Mohamed est le seul qui connaît la vérité. Je le soutiens dans ses propos. Il répète les mêmes choses depuis le début.
And we will stand with them until he will be free and have the possibility to have his own life as a citizen of this country.
He's a good husband, son-in-law, uncle, friend, and he is loved by many. He's an average Joe who wants a normal life with a good job, a few kids, and a home. According to many, the truth should come out.
If there is evidence against any Canadian for any crime, the way we do this is you have a trial where you provide the evidence. What we have now are show trials where there's no evidence put in front of people. Is that just? Is that right?
The Supreme Court has ruled that security certificates are unconstitutional, and recently a few of them have been overturned.
He's a refugee who got misinterpreted and used because of his language, background, religion, and faith.
Je crois que les experts du mois passé ont prouvé que Mo n'a jamais fait partie, ni de près ou de loin, à aucun parti terroriste.
And I really commend and thank Mo and Sophie for the work they're doing. They are an example. They are an example for the 54,000 members of CUPW.
According to many, Mo never was, is, or ever will be a terrorist. According to many, CSIS has got it all wrong.
Mon gendre n'a jamais été un terroriste, il n'est pas un terroriste et il ne sera jamais un terroriste.
Without you and without all of us, this would have gotten hidden. This whole issue would have gotten hidden. Mo and all the others that were under the security certificates would have been hidden, and the truth would not have come out.
And in Mohamed's case, as we know, a key informant of the Crown's case failed a lie detector test. The evidence against him as well was destroyed by CSIS, and as Jessica mentioned, last week the U.S. freed a key figure in their case against him.
Since May of 2003, after issuing between 2 and 3 security certificates a year, with one very bizarre exception, CSIS and the Canadian government have not issued a single security certificate, rendition to torture certificate, and that's because of us here gathering in rallies like this across the country.
He's been continuously dehumanized, humiliated, and degraded by the Canadian government and labeled a threat to national security under secret evidence.
And I think it's important to note where we are today as well, at the Human Rights Memorial, where it says that all human beings, not some, all human beings have the right to be born free and equal.
Human rights is first, social justice is first, and we stay there and fight for that.
Although we have made a major victory in our ability to put the reins on CSIS, we know that CSIS continues to harass, intimidate, and terrorize members of Arabic and Muslim communities across this country. We know the RCMP continues to haunt people's doorsteps as well.
According to many, Mo deserves a fair trial with access to the evidence so he can defend himself in a transparent manner.
When will this government and our parliament finally acknowledge the truth that the security certificate process is so flawed, it has no bearing in natural justice, that it does not belong in our parliament, it does not belong in our country, and it needs to be thrown out, and that's the only solution for it.
It is time that we Canadians demand that our government restore our faith and trust in the principles of procedural fairness and due process and natural law by ending the use of security certificates.
According to many, this has got to stop now. End secret trials in Canada now. May justice and freedom prevail in 2010, and may the truth come out for all Canadians to see.
And it's important to really commend the commitment of the family of Mo, because they are there all the time. And that's a good example. That's a good example when a group of people is taking something and taking something really important for them. They can change things. They can be out there and challenge the government and challenge this security certificate.
I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of our supporters and the Justice for Mohamed Harkat Committee for their continued support, encouragement, generosity, love, and so much more. We are very fortunate to have you in our lives.